I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can use Surveilint physical security information management solutions to integrate and really leverage the disparate security solutions that we have in our environments. Let's talk a little bit about the challenge of integrating disparate security solutions. And to do that, I think a great place to start is to really understand sort of what's the reality today, what's the problem, what do we want to achieve, and what's preventing us from achieving that. So the first item, we want to have complete situational awareness of our environments. That's all good. However, the reality today is that, we have event, video, all kinds of information coming at us, coming at our operators from a variety of different sources. We'd like to have effective, best practice-based response to the events that happen in our environment. However, many times the operators do not have all the critical information that they need to accurately assess and respond to an event, and they don't often have their standard operating procedures together where they can access them in a timely fashion. Finally, we'd like to really bottom line, get the best possible return on investment for our investment in security technology for protecting lives and property. What's complicating that is multiple interfaces, long operator training times, and poor visibility of our operations to management so that we can assess how we're doing and how we can make corrections and make changes to improve our operations. So what do we need to address these challenges? We need a solution that, first of all, centralizes all of the information in our environment, combines that information in an intelligent way so that we can make sense of it, presents that information to the operator through what we call a single pane of glass, a single user interface, orchestrates the response of the operators to these events so that they're reliably taking the right actions at the right time, and finally delivers information about operations to management, to supervisors, and so on, so we can understand how we're doing, how we're protecting our assets, and how we can improve. So let's take a look at the world today before physical security information management is in place, PSIM. We have a variety of different systems: intrusion, access control, building management systems, video analytics, and so on. All of these systems have separate interfaces, and information from these systems is coming at our operators from all of these different systems. They have to make sense of it. The problem is they have multiple user interfaces to learn and to deal with for understanding and controlling this information. They don't really have clear visibility into what's happening with these events as this information comes, and ultimately you can get operator overload as you have a major security event and there's information coming from all different sources and operators really can't make sense of it. So it's important to a security operations center to have a clear and accurate view of their environment. However, it's also important to other agencies and tenants, other consumers of the security information and our security services. It's also important for mobile operators, people out in the field, people responding, supervisors, managers, people who are not in the security operations center, but still need to understand what's happening in the environment. So this is how the world looks with physical security information management. We take all of the information that's coming from these various sources and combine it all into a single system with a set of business rules and a business rule engine. With physical security information management, you're not just limited to security systems and such. You can also leverage knowledge repositories, such as GIS repositories, standard operating procedures, and so on. You can also leverage enterprise systems, including identity management systems, HR systems, and other IT systems. All of this gets combined together with a business rule engine that allows us to suppress spurious information and really helps us understand the most important information related to the events that are happening. The result is that operators can better analyze, decide, and respond to the events as they occur through a single user interface. And then finally, we can take advantage of the information and our understanding of the events as they come in to take a response, to communicate through mass notification systems and other communication systems, to report on these incidents, and provide displays through video wall systems and that sort of thing. So hopefully I've sold you all on the value of physical security information management, and you agree that it's important to have. Let's talk about some of the features that are required to have an effective PSIM solution. So I've summarized 5 of them here, and I'll go through them each in turn quite briefly. So first of all, a large library of pre-supported, pre-packaged system integrations. So the importance here is that the integrations are commercialized, that they're supportable, that they're easy to deploy, and easy to make work in your environment. Furthermore, it's important to have deep support for these connected systems. So what does that mean? It means that you have to be able to access all of the functionality that's possible to the system, to not just receive data, but also control things like open and close doors, raise and lower bollards, that sort of thing, and also to continually monitor the health of the system. So the benefit here is really fast deployment, lower total cost of ownership for the solution, and also the ability to for operators to access functionality through a single interface and monitor their system health continually while they're doing it. A second feature which is important to look for is the ability to integrate with geographic information systems. So here, online map sources such as Bing Maps, enterprise GIS sources such as Esri, ArcGIS, and so on, allows organizations to really leverage the rich sources, the rich repositories of information that they have in their environment. So the benefits here, when operators can see the events on maps, on live maps, it gives them a better understanding of the context, of the situational awareness of the security event as it unfolds. They can make a better response as a result. And furthermore, enterprises can leverage the GIS system to communicate with each other and to bring other GIS-related information, real-time weather maps, crime statistic databases, and so on, into their operational environment. So here we have a interactive demonstration. This is a very brief demonstration of some of the Esri integration functionality as viewed through Proximex. And we actually have Proximex running here, and I'd invite you to visit and take a look if you're interested. But here you see the operator has the ability to control visualization of the different GIS map layers. I'm looking at a 100-year floodplain around the area here of McCormick Center. I can overlay this information on top of other maps, and then finally drill down to a floor plan and actually see the sensors on the floor plan and open the sensors and view cameras, open doors, and so on. Another important feature for a physical security information management system is that you have a graphical interface that makes it very easy to set up your business rules and your response, your operator response logic. So in this case, it's important to have a means of very quickly grabbing elements, dragging them onto a pallet, wiring them up, and set up rules to filter, correlate information coming from different sensors, and to set up the proper response that operators need to take. This is, again, a very brief demonstration of what the functionality of our business logic designer looks like. So here, system administrators, deployers have the capability of very easily grabbing blocks, dragging them onto the pallet, setting the various parameters associated with these activities and so on. So each one of these corresponds to an operator activity. Once I've defined the different blocks, I can wire them up very quickly by just dragging and dropping between them and establishing the logical flow that I need to connect these activities. And then once I've done all that, I can go and simulate the response. So I can actually try this out, try the logic out in a simulation environment, see what prompts are shown to the operator, and provide a means to work through the different logical flows to make sure that they make sense. Another important feature is the ability to track subjects across multiple cameras, and this is quite a challenging problem to solve, because operators have to deal with cameras on a two-dimensional map. If a subject is moving around, they constantly have to go and reference where they think the subject is to find another camera where they can view the subject as he moves from place to place. Proximex Surveilint has a patented technology called EasyTrack. So with EasyTrack, we have the capability of presenting the operator with a real or live video feed. As an operator sees a subject of interest, he can click on one of these arrows here and bring up video feeds from the adjacent cameras. When he sees a subject move from the main camera to the lower camera, he can click on that. That image becomes the main image, and these actions are recorded in what we call a track link. So as the subject moves through the space, we can generate this track link with images, with miniature maps, with timestamps, with video clips that show how the subject moved throughout the facility. Very quickly and very easy, and operators can do all of this without having to refer to maps. Finally, another important consideration is deployment. So PSIM is an enterprise software solution, and it's important that PSIMs can leverage the latest in information technology to provide a very robust deployment methodology. In this case, our PSIM, Proximex Surveilint, is architected from the ground up, leveraging SOA technologies. We are a Microsoft Gold certified partner, and we're also the only PSIM solution which is designated VMware ready with VMware Corporation. So today, it's very typical for enterprise software solutions to be deployed in virtualized environments and server farms and stuff for purposes of improved scalability and availability. And also, our SOA architecture provides a very flexible deployment architecture. So you can scale the solution both vertically and horizontally to meet any scalability and availability needs. So when we look at the requirements and measure them against Proximex Surveilint, Proximex Surveilint satisfies each of these critical physical security information management solution needs. Proximex Surveilint is used in a number of different vertical deployments and vertical industries. For instance, securing the supply chain. Proximex Surveilint is used today by the second busiest shipping port in the United States. A particular challenge here is just the variety of different systems that need to be integrated. In this case, 14 different systems, not just security systems, but systems such as ship tracking and radar systems. In this case, this particular customer saw an increase in operator ease of use as they were able to consolidate the number of interfaces their operators had to learn from 14 different interfaces to one, and reduce their training costs. Another application for Proximex Surveillant, protecting the financial infrastructure. Proximex Surveillant is used by major banks and insurers, including a U.S. bank that has over 1,000 retail branches. So in this case, the bank was able to realize improved incident response times, thanks to Surveillant. The bank was also able to demonstrate their policy compliance and reduce their false alarm rates. This is a big driver in the banking industry. False alarms are a big problem. They were able to reduce this with video verification of alarms. Securing passenger transportation, railroads and airports. Proximex Surveillant is today used by the busiest single runway airport in North America. So the challenge here, if you've ever been to an airport and looked up, you'll see literally hundreds and hundreds of cameras all over the place. In this case, this particular customer had over 400 access control system points and over 500 cameras. Proximex Surveillant was used to successfully integrate all of this, again, through a single operator interface. The result, an improved ability to assess incidents and prevent something called terminal dumps, where these are very costly for airports, where they have to clear an airport. We're talking $1 million an hour. So if they can prevent that with this technology, it pays for itself. Finally, keeping cities safe. Proximex Surveillant today is used by the police department of one of the 10 most populous cities in the Western Hemisphere. It's used to provide incident response for their police, their fire, and their ambulance services. A big benefit for them is the ability to integrate with live maps and to be able to integrate with incident reporting systems and with computer-aided dispatch systems, and also provide an ability to handle complex multi-jurisdictional response to events as they occur. Surveillant is available for a number of different platforms. It's enterprise software built on Windows using Windows technology. In addition, we have Surveillant for the web, which can run on any web platform. We have Surveillant for the iPad for mobile users and users on the go who need to access Surveillant information. And then finally, Surveillant for the iPhone for responders, for managers, for people who need to be able to access information about events and need to be able to create new events leveraging the camera and the map functionality available on the iPhone platform. So to summarize, what does Surveillant do for me? Well, I'd put it in 3 categories. First of all, mitigate risk. We can help mitigate risk with a single, unified view of all the security systems and technology in your environment. We can help enforce compliance. Again, I had mentioned earlier that we have health monitoring, the ability to monitor the health of connected systems and to record that information, provide them in reports for management, for auditors and so on, and also to monitor how our operators are responding to events with best practice-based response. And finally, lower costs. Lower costs with a system that's easy to use, easy to deploy, and easy for operators to get up to speed and start really leveraging the technology that's in the enterprise today. So that's about it for me. Thank you very much for listening.